Hello, grade fives. Welcome back to lesson 4 of statistics and probability. Really easy lesson here to start off the very last week of school for you. So hopefully you also find it easy. We can rip through it really quick. So when we talk about probability, so we're moving away from statistics, we're into probability. What we're talking about is like the chance of something happening, which is a term you've probably heard before. You're probably very familiar with the vocab, actually. So we're going to talk about the chance of a certain situation, a certain event occurring. So we'll just go over the vocab and then just apply it to some situations, and we're good to go. So just looking at the example here, right? So can you find a flower that talks? Some events are impossible, right? So finding a flower that talks, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. Events that could happen, so going to school sometime next year is possible. Is the month after June always July? Some events are certain, so this is certainly going to happen. Right? Nobody's going to change around the month, so it's guaranteed to happen. It'll happen for sure. It could happen, okay, but it doesn't have to, or it's never going to happen. It's completely impossible. So the vocab down here is what we're going to use. I'm just going to use my chart here because then I can point to it. So just thinking about some events that could occur if it's impossible. So impossible is never, ever going to happen. So it's going to, what's something impossible that's going to happen? Me being in the Olympics, that's not going to happen. An alien invasion is not going to happen. Me getting first place in a Fortnite competition, not going to happen. So things that are never, ever going to happen. Oh, me playing in the NHL, yeah, no chance. So impossible, never going to happen. Unlikely but possible. So it could happen, but the chances of it happening are quite slim. So that could be something like one of you playing in the NHL. It's possible, but it's really hard, which makes it unlikely. What else? It snows in July in Alberta. It's possible, right? It could happen. It probably has before, but it's not very likely. It's probably not going to happen. Then we move on to possible and likely. Okay? It's possible and likely that I'm going to have a cup of tea tomorrow morning. Okay? It's not guaranteed, but it's most likely going to happen, right? So it's possible and it's likely. Right now it is possible and likely that, these are hard to think of off the top of my head. I'm going to drink my full jug of water tomorrow. Okay? Might not happen. There's a chance it might not happen, but it's probably going to happen. It's possible and likely that I'm going to put my headphones on tomorrow morning and listen to some music. Right? Do I do it all the time? Yes. Is it guaranteed though? No. Okay? So, impossible, unlikely but possible, likely and possible, and then we move on to certain. Okay? So, certain, it is guaranteed, right? The way things are right now, it is guaranteed, it is certain the sun is going to rise tomorrow, right? It is certain, okay? I am certain that tomorrow is going to be June 15th, okay? I'm recording this on the 14th, so June 15th is tomorrow. It is certain that I'm going to go to bed tonight. Okay? For some of you, it might be possible and likely that you're going to go to bed tonight. For me, personally, it is certain that I'm going to go to bed tonight because I am pretty tired. It is certain that I am going to eat food tomorrow. Okay? Based on my current situation, it is certain that I'm going to eat food tomorrow, right? So just look at the situations and you can determine what the best vocab is. So I actually don't like the examples that are on this page. I like this chart, good little chart, but I don't really love this example. So I just did my own. And you're going to see a marble example in later in the textbook, right? So I've got a bag here, and it's full of marbles. It's got some blue marble, it's got 2 green marbles, 4 purple marbles, and it has 6 red marbles, right? So what are the chances that I am going to pull a marble out of this bag? Okay, it is certain. I am for sure going to pull a marble out of the bag if I reach in and grab one. Okay, if I reach into the bag, what are the chances that I am going to pull out a book? Okay, it is impossible. I am not going to pull out a book because there are no books in that bag. Okay, what are the chances that I am going to pull, or what is the probability that I am going to pull out a red marble? So this is where we have to start comparing. So I have 6 marbles that are red, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are a different color. So I would say it is likely, or possible, and likely. Okay, so it is quite likely. You could just say likely to. It's possible and likely that I'm going to put a red marble. Purple marble. Okay, so there's 4 purple marbles and there's 9 others. So it is... I'm actually just going to leave this one as possible. And we'll maybe come back and think about it. Okay, green. There's 2 greens. Unlikely. Okay, blue. Unlikely that I'm going to pull a blue. I reach in, I grab 1 marble. What is the chances I'm going to grab that one single lone blue marble? Not very good, right? So it's unlikely. Looking back, I'm going to say likely here. Okay, it's not that far off from the red. What are the chances that I'm going to reach into this marble bag and I'm going to pull out an orange marble? There are no chances. It's impossible. Why is it impossible? Because there is no orange marble. Not even one. Not even a single orange marble in there. So all of these are possible. They could possibly happen. Okay? But it's not guaranteed. I could pull that blue marble. Right? I could pull one of those green marbles. Okay? But it's not very likely. Okay? But it's still possible. Okay, orange though, absolutely impossible. Okay, so looking at the chart, this just goes kind of through the scope of things. So impossible, if it's not impossible, it's possible, right? But it might be unlikely. Okay, it could be certain, but if it's not certainly going to happen, it's maybe likely going to happen, which still means it's possible. So possible runs this entire spectrum. Okay, all the way in between impossible and certain is possible. Right? Unlikely is leading towards impossible. Likely is leading towards certain. So when you go to do your practice questions, I hope you realize how super simple they are. Just make sure you read the instructions, right? Use the words impossible, possible, certain, unlikely, or likely to describe each event. It'll snow tomorrow, okay? Depending on what time of year you do this question, okay? If you're doing it this week, in my world right now, you'll have a very specific answer. If you were doing this in December, in Alberta, your answer changes. Okay, so all of these questions are answered based on your world right now. Right? You will have orange juice with your lunch today. You will see a whale next week. You will go camping in the spring. Tomorrow is Friday. The sun will rise tomorrow. So depending on when you do those questions, your answers will change, and that's okay. Okay, this is not set in stone. Some of you will have different answers than other people. Right? You will attend the Carnaval de Quebec next February. I don't know, maybe some of you are planning on going to Quebec next year, so that could be a chance. Maybe some of you are definitely not, right? So just depending on who you are, where you are, what time of year it is, right, your answers will change depending on your current situation. So just keep that in mind. I'll post the practice questions. I'll post the homework questions. But if you have any questions, just send me an email, message on Google Classroom, and we'll get it taken care of. Talk to you next time.